So hey everyone. So today I'm gonna be, as you can see on the title, I'm gonna be talking about cryptocurrencies. Yeah, so that's it. So we might be wondering why there are some blocks here. Yeah, some blocks here. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna explain first of all what a blockchain is. What a blockchain is. So a blockchain is just a chain of blocks. If you get the idea. So let's say this is like a blockchain. There is different blocks. The starting block is called the Genesis block. Okay, so that's what it's actually called, right? The Genesis block. So the Genesis block is basically where we start to create more blocks. And so let's say this is the Genesis block. For now, we'll go away. We start to mine new blocks on a cryptocurrency. We start to mine new blocks. Okay, we start to create new blocks. It's like a puzzle. So let's say it's like one of those things you remember. Okay, so one of those things that you see normally. Sometimes people say, I'm choosing a number between 1 and 10, and you gotta figure out whoever gets the closest actually does something or something. I don't know. Okay, so that's like it's like that for your computer. And let's say the puzzle first of all is 22, then it's 222, then it gets bigger and bigger. This is called the difficulty block. Now I'm not gonna say too much about blockchain because we got a lot to cover. It's a big topic, okay? So I'm not going to talk much about this, but okay, let's talk about some small things. Okay, so now let's talk about ETF. Now I got really nothing to show about ETF here, so I have nothing here. But what an ETF is, right? Is that let's say you got a basket of things. You got let's say you got a basket of iPhones. I don't know who affords that, but okay. Let's say you have a basket of iPhones, just for saying. So that's like a it's like an ETF. It's a tech ETF. So there are more things about the same thing. Okay, there are more things in that basket that are about the same topic. So it's like you get three things in one basket, and that's the same topic. That's what an ETF is. So that's the difference between cryptocurrency and ETF. There you go, the blockchain, we understood. Now next of all, we gotta again go back to our blockchain because yeah, we gotta. So how is a blockchain secure actually? We gotta figure out that. I almost forgot about that one minute. Like how? Yeah, but let's go. Okay, so how a blockchain? So let's show ourselves how a blockchain works. So you know the Genesis block. Once we mine a new block, we get rewards. That's why we actually use using mining. We do it because we get bitcoins or any other cryptocurrency. I keep forgetting that there are other cryptocurrencies. So this is the Genesis block, and once we mine a new block, the Genesis block has a number here. Let's just imagine there's a number here where it says the hash of the next block. So if we have mined a new block, something called a hash is generated. So that's how it's really encrypted, as well as a public key and a private key. But we're not really gonna talk about that because, yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea. So how this works? We have made mostly of these things, and now we are gonna go to some NFTs and other things. But first off, let's say ETF. Let's say more about ETF. Okay. So basically that's what the ETF is. However, we can have cryptocurrency ETFs, which have more of a benefit, okay? So the main benefit of the cryptocurrency ETF is that is that it is encrypted while being an ETF, which is already pretty good. But another thing that's pretty bad about ETF cryptocurrencies is that there's a side effect of an cryptocurrency. You see that our little blockchain here, our little blockchain, we are just going to call it that because for now we don't have anything. I should probably make this the Genesis block. Basically, how the ETF, what is the side effect of the blockchain? So, the blockchain is pretty good at cyber criminals, okay? So, let's say we have some hacker here trying to hack into our system on one of the blocks. The hash then also changes, and since the previous block knows the previous the hash of the next block, it knows that this block actually is invalid. So it will either inform you that this is invalid and has like a hacker in it, and that's pretty good. We don't want hackers in our system. But this is only a little blockchain. This is not even like anything about it. We are just going to go to the side effects straight up. So the first pretty bad side effects is like, okay, so I gotta show this pretty good. So there's a thief, let's say here, a thief, right? The main one of the main other improvements on Bitcoin is that there is no bank that knows your credit card or something. So it's pretty good. But let's say somebody is actually stealing some money and transfers it through Bitcoin. Then, Bitcoin can't see it because he hasn't messed with the system. He has only he has only taken it from a physical system and then through Bitcoin there. Oh, by the way, go subscribe to Mihran's Orbit. We're almost at 100 subscribers. Not saying more about that, but So that's basically the problem about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, no, not Bitcoin. It's cryptocurrency. How many times do I forget about that? Like Bitcoin is one of the biggest ones. So it's like confusing phone for an iPhone. That's not like, okay. Let's go back. So let's go back to that. Just imagine that didn't happen, okay? So the cryptocurrencies, actually, that's the main weakness of it. That's why many criminals are stealing money and putting it through Bitcoin all the way to somebody else. Now they will be, the money will be still safe on somebody else's hands. So that will be pretty good for the criminals too, if you think about it. So, that's almost all about the little thing. No, the big things. We gotta talk about the little things. So an NFT, let's talk about that real quick. An NFT, right? An NFT is just like, an NFT is basically like an, okay, let me show you. So, let me tell you. You see this book? This book, probably I shouldn't show that too many times, but okay. So you see this book? So if let's say this is a picture of a book, and let's say it's got viral or something, like it's a very popular picture, people use this, and an NFT is basically where you buy that thing on which is virtual. Everybody can still view it, but they don't hold the copyright rights. So basically, this is like a scam outside of the blockchain, because on blockchain, the really cool thing about the blockchain is that, well, it's virtual, and all of the pages could be NFTs. If each of them are NFTs, let's say these blocks hash is an NFT. Even if the system is strict that nothing is invalid, using some JavaScripting and things, we'll get to that later. Okay, we'll get to that later. Yeah, we were doing that for some reason. So we'll get to that later. But let me show you another important thing, which is I have nothing. That I was just actually no. Yeah, I was talking about NFTs being important. As you can see, this block has a screenshot of it. So even if it's not encrypted and not actually usable, it's still actually people know that it's not right because something different happened, like a hash change or something. Now let's get into the trickier parts, the JavaScript. Or like JavaScript is for computers, Python is for every single thing. Okay, yeah, we are gonna go away from that. Let's real quick say how it works, which is just like a 10-second thing I can explain, because otherwise it will be like giant that I gotta explain. So first off, we just say everything what is what to the computer, because otherwise it won't work. But if I say what is what, like block equals block, like this, I don't know how that works. But after I do that, then I gotta check if it's valid or not. By simple system, I should probably check out other channels. Yeah, okay. You should probably check out other channels when I watch it through. Okay. So that's pretty important. Let's say. Okay, so let's say now Python. Python is basically the same thing, but let me talk more about not coding, but let's see how the future of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. How many times do I get it mixed up? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So how many times do I get it mixed up? So a cryptocurrency is like the cryptocurrency's future is pretty weird if I think of it, because if cryptocurrency wants to go on more, people have to be actually like, there's no hyperinflation actually happening. There's no hyperinflation actually happening on the system, but they could have, if it becomes an actual popular source of like money and transferring, then it actually it has to be. Actually, I should stop it. Okay, so it has to be like. It has to be some sort of proof to all of the disadvantages of normal economy itself. Because if you think about it, Bitcoin aka cryptocurrency is just basically, it's just like, normal currency. It's like normal currency, but it has better encryption and not a middle party, right? So that's the only things that are in cryptocurrency that's different. So if just from that we can figure out that customers won't like it as well. I'm not saying you should not actually, it's not a good decision, but like I'm just saying that customers won't differentiate it from other things. Let's go to the stock now. Now let's go to the things about cryptocurrencies that are really bad. You see, cryptocurrencies are just basically like, in the stock markets. So let's say this is the stock market, this is our cryptocurrency. It's just on the stock market. So if there's technically, if the Bitcoin cryptocurrency market goes down, then the value of it also goes plummeted. So it's like all of the transactions that will happen there, they lose their money worth. So also let's talk about the history a little bit, because we also want to know the past. And without that, I feel like it's not okay. No, let's talk about the history. So first off, cryptocurrency started off in 2009. I remember the exact date. Check that out. All the way in 2009. Yeah, there's the inventor of Bitcoin. No, cryptocurrency. Yeah, Bitcoin actually, because it was the first currency actually. That's why. Okay. So that's basically how the history started. But then people started to invest on Bitcoin a lot, like Mr. Beast and other people. Elon Musk too. Yeah, people started to invest a lot in these things. Yeah, a lot, like literally this much. That its wealth became like you could buy one Tesla using one Bitcoin. Now people just sell like 0.25 Bitcoin in everywhere. So yeah, so that's basically the history of Bitcoin, aka how many times, why do people mix this up? I don't know. Goodbye.